So your daughter, has it been for her growing up as a raw vegan in the UK?
I think for the most part, it was very easy. We told her, this is how we do it in our family. We used to eat like everyone else, and we found out that this way was better, and we invite you to join us. And she goes, I want to eat like my parents. I want to eat like you do, Daddy. I want to eat like you do, Mommy. And occasionally she was challenged by her friends. Occasionally we made things that her friends could relate to. So I would make her a raw vegan bar. She would make a raw vegan bar with me. And sometimes I'd put it in a plain brown wrapper. But sometimes I'd put it in a wrapper that looked like raw vegan bar, like commercial bars come in. So she could open up a bar and eat with her friends. Most of the time, the food she brought with her, her friends wanted to try. They rarely gave her a hard time about her food. Really rarely. And when they always saw that she was smart and happy and healthy, I mean, a girl that's 20 and hasn't been sick is pretty special. People look up to that.
Yeah, and I remember when we were at the restaurant, the Raw Temple, and you gave a Q&A there. We started with that, and by the time you watch this podcast, it should be on the YouTube channel. So if people want to dive in, that Q&A was really cool. And yeah, you mentioned also a lot of differences. Like she was sleeping less, and she never got sick.
Well, I think even more important than sleeping less was she was awake, happy, productive far more than her peers as a 1-year-old, as a 2-year-old, as a 3-year-old. By the time she was 2 years old, she was communicating like a 4-year-old because she'd been awake as long as the average 4-year-old.
So if you combine like learning faster plus having that learning time being longer, right? We talked about the puberty, but basically it's childhood being expanded.
Childhood being extended. Recovery from activity happened so much faster for her, so she could do more activities.
You got a superhuman there.
I like to think that it's the start of something really good. And really, I think of her as a human, and so many of her peers and my peers as being held down from reaching full potential. We could unleash this potential and fly free, be what humans are capable of being. The computer brain, the photographic memory, the total recall, the coordination of any animal. I mean, we look at the cats and the squirrels and the monkeys and go, oh, they're so cool. Well, we have this in us. And I know this for a fact because every once in a while I see a human who has that ability. Well, if one has it, we all have it. For sure.
Yeah, but so yeah, let's imagine a lot of children growing up this way. Like, what's possible?
A lot more kindness is possible than what we see. Much, much grander visions. And it's not only the children, though. It is the parents. I remember being in a grocery store, picking out my fruits and vegetables, and a woman and her husband were walking through the store with their, I don't know, 10 or 12-year-old daughter. And she was rather heavy set. And the parents were very heavy set. And the daughter ran over to a display of pineapples and said, oh, Mommy, can I have a pineapple? And the mother just said, no.
No fruits.
No. And she was crestfallen. And I was tempted to intervene and say, I'll buy you a pineapple. But there's
But
a
was it no, like it would be unhealthy or not good, or
just plain no. Like, yeah, they weren't a fruit eating family. And the so my daughters had so many dreams and so much imagination and spent a long time living as a child and says, oh, I want to have a farm with 60 horses. Okay, you can have a farm with 60 horses. First we make the decision and then we'll figure out how to make it happen. I want to have a facility that's a world-class facility and the vets are all right there on the premises and she designed it and she drew it and it's going to become a reality for sure. And I will travel in first class and I will, fine, of course, why not? Why not? And when I tell my daughter, no, that is not possible, I do her a great disservice. Anything is possible. Let's dream incredibly big, incredibly forward-thinking. The people who say, I have to figure out how before I make any kind of commitments, and I'm going, no, make the commitment, figure out the how later. The how will become apparent once you've made the commitment, once I express my vision to the world, then I can bring it into reality. So, but foods certainly dumb kids down, and it does them a great disservice to numb them, to deactivate them, to, if I could say, to obesify them. It's just they get slower and slower, and it's sad. I know for a fact that a raw world would be a happier and healthier world. Would there still be issues? Yes, there'd still be issues. We're still people.